Hello and welcome to the Futures 3D video training series. My name is Jeff Christiana and this is video number 27A of the Skeinforge 47 video series on how to use speed. We'll be covering bridge and duty cycle in this video. So over here on Skeinforge under craft speed, you want to make sure both these are checked. If you uncheck these, that means your speed will the G-code for speed will not be added to your G-code. So it'll probably take your default speed that's specified in your start.g code, which we are not doing anymore. So you want to make sure you check activate speed. Next one is activate your flow rate. So this will add your flow rate G-code to your print, and you want to definitely check that. If you uncheck that, I'm assuming it'll use your define flow rate in your start.g code, which we don't do either. So you want to make sure both of these are checked. Next item is bridge. Now this bridge, this is a ratio. Let's say let's start with an object here. You're coming along, printing at normal speed, and obviously it's doing this on the other side. And you want to bridge these two. You want to bridge these. You've got no support material underneath. So this is a ratio on how fast you're going to move the head from one point to another. So this one here is your bridge feed. This is really important to understand. Your feed is not your extruder speed. Your feed is not feeding plastic. Your feed is your X, Y, and Z axes. So your feed is this line right here. So this is a ratio of your normal feed speed, which is down here, your feed rate. Or sorry, your feed rate right here. Sorry, feed rate millimeters a second. So you want this is a ratio. So the lower the number, the slower. The higher the number, the faster. 1.0 is pretty fast. So if you wanted to lower this down to like 0.3, 0.4, but 1.0, and I believe you can go even faster. So the higher this number, there, 1.20 is the fastest. So that means that thing is going to whip across there as fast as it can. And if let's say if you were going slower, you'd start to get a sag. And right back up. So your plastic would just sag. So if you're going really quick, you're going to stretch that plastic across and bridge a lot faster. So if you have, it depends on the plastic you're using, the temperature you're using, and you know that I would adjust the temperature to make sure you're not dealing out too hot, because this setting works pretty good. But that's where you would set that. Now the bridge flow rate. Now flow equals extruder speed. So that's how fast your plastic is getting pushed through the nozzle. So if you zip across here really fast and it's really super thin, you might want to give yourself some more plastic. So this is another ratio of your flow rate setting. So your flow rate setting is set at a speed of 42, and that is where that. So that's all your bridge functions. Screen here. Now let's talk about your duty cycle. The duty cycle I don't really mess with. I don't really make any changes to, but the default setting is set to 1, which will set the extruder motor to full current. It defines the duty cycle of the stepper motor pulse with modulation by adding an M113 command towards the beginning of the G-code.txt. If the hardware has the option of using the potentiometer to set the duty cycle, to select the potentiometer option, set duty cycle at beginning to an empty string. To turn off the extruder, set the duty cycle beginning to 0. And you know what we're going to do with this is we're going to turn this off. That should be off. There is an error that comes up with the M13, and that is where you want to turn it off. We're going to use a potentiometer on our step sticks to drive that. So you want to make sure the duty cycle and the duty cycle at the ending is turned off. So that is the end of this video. We covered bridge and duty cycle, and we'll see you in the next video.